Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, and I am here doing a special interview. I am so excited. And you would think that it would be easy for me to get this young lady on the show, but I've been trying to get her on the show for years. And finally, I'm able to do it. So it brings me great pride to introduce you to this lovely young lady who is sitting next to me. Well, her computer screen is next to me. So anyway, um, her name is Beautiful Lawson. She is my daughter, but she is more than just my daughter. I really wanted to have her on the show because she really needed to tell her story. And just the things that she's accomplished throughout the years has just been amazing. And she has gone through school, and she's going to tell you about her school experience. She graduated cum laude from Clark Atlanta University. She is the 2017 National All-American Miss New Orleans, and now she's about to compete for a National American Miss Maryland. And so I wanted to talk with her about why she decided to return to the pageant world, what she's doing with herself. Many of you may know her as a talented actress, and what she's doing with that. So, without any further ado, I'm just going to turn it over to Miss Beautiful so she can introduce herself to all of you. Hello, Beautiful.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
It's good to see you. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Good to see you too. As my mother already introduced me, and thank you so much for the introduction. It was awesome. You make me sound really great, honestly.
You are really great.
Um, my name is Beautiful Lawson. I am 23, and I'm a state finalist for the National American Miss pageant. I'm competing for the title of Miss America for Miss Maryland. Sorry, tongue twisting. Um, besides that, I joined Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, the illustrious, the finest. And I am also a teacher. And pretty soon I'll be doing my praxis exam to be a teacher at a middle or high school.
Well, you've just been busy since you graduated from college, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I had to put this degree to use.
So, well, the main reason that you're on is because, I wanted you to introduce yourself and to talk a bit about your platform. So before we get to your platform, I mentioned earlier that you were the 2017 National All-American Miss New Orleans, and that was actually your very first pageant. And you were able to win, I believe, first runner up in the acting competition. And so you were able to move out to the LA competition, which was where you were competing against everybody. So if you can maybe talk about that experience, and then let us know why you decided to return to the pageant world.
Okay, yes. My first pageant was when I was around 17 years old. I had just moved back to the United States from Belgium, and I was pretty new. My self confidence was really not there at all. I just didn't want anyone to know that about me. So I tried to hide it. And one of the ways I tried to break myself out of that was by joining a pageant. I was mysteriously nominated. And to this day, I have no idea who nominated me for this pageant. But to get into National American Miss, it is by invitation only. So someone knew me and said, is going to be great at this. And that's how I wound up getting into National American Miss. It was my first pageant. I was scared. I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't really know how to walk. But a lot of the things that they taught me in the pageant for when we had to do our training was a lot of things that I had already learned just from, everyday life. I got my first job at 12. So that's where a lot of the skills that they wanted me to do in the pageant came from. It was how to do an interview or how to sit correctly in a chair or, looking people in the eye and fully facing them shoulder to shoulder when you're speaking to them. It was a lot of things that I had already picked up on when I was younger. Since then, I didn't do pageants again for a while because I was trying to start off my acting career. I had done background for Happy Death Day 2, Claus, NCIS New Orleans, and a couple of other productions just in the area. I then went on to Clark Atlanta University, where I participated in the Miss Phi Beta Sigma pageant. Um, I placed fourth in that pageant and won Miss Congeniality, and it was a great honor too. And from there, what other pageant did I do? While I try to remember the other ones, let's catch up. Uh,
Well,
to now, I've
what those
graduated.
experiences like to because those pageants aren't. I mean, you're a beautiful girl. Your name is beautiful, so you have to be. But the pageants really just aren't about beauty. So what did you learn through the processes of entering these pageants, and did they affect you in any way to where you were able to take some things and carry them with you?
Well, the one thing that drew me to National American Miss was the way they kept putting it out there that this is not a beauty pageant. It was a self-confidence pageant. And that was one of the reasons I wanted to join, to try to break myself out of having low self-esteem. I joined it as a way to feel better about myself. It took me a while to grow into my name because kids are mean. And so since I didn't feel beautiful on the outside, it was hard for me to feel beautiful on the inside. But winning little competitions like best smile in the competition or spoke the clearest. Those little wins, they really helped like with my overall self-confidence.
Yeah, you actually
So with
took a few
anyone,
trophies home.
sorry.
I say you actually took a few trophies home from that LA competition.
Yeah, I did. I did. I remember winning first runner up for the actress competition. And when I tell you, I wore that crown and trophy around like I had won first. You
Yes,
couldn't
you
tell me
did. Yes, you
anything with my City Queen of New Orleans banner and crown. I was like, yep, this is me. This is who I am now.
did. Well, you wore it well, I must say.
Thank you. Thank you. I also remember a newspaper publicist did reach out to me to talk about my experience as well. And that was really cool too. It was one of those things that I never saw myself at before. And it was another reason why I wanted to do pageants again.
Okay, so what would you say to someone who is maybe thinking about doing this competition and they don't think that they can do it?
I would say just do it. Because the only person that can hold you back from things is really yourself.
Beautiful. That is so correct. Now but that's not something that you learned that you just carried with you. You said you had to learn and you had to grow into it. What were some things, besides the pageant that helped you to grow into having that self-confidence?
I think it was always knowing that when even if I didn't do well, I tried my best. And throughout every major event in my life, I've always with if I don't do well, I tried my best. And that's the most anyone could ever expect out of me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we have comments just coming in galore. I'm trying to keep up with them. Yes, Mark said he remembers you in a stage play, which was Twilight.
Yep, I was Twilight. I was the star.
Now that was an experience because when I told people that you were going to do the lead role, people were looking at me and saying, "Are you sure you're going to be able to watch your daughter go through that?" Because it's a very serious topic. It's about teenage sexual assault. So they wanted to know if I would be able to handle you going through that process. And I will tell you that first scene was a little much, but you handled it really, really well. In fact, I think we had to tell you you had a little bit too much strength. You were trying to fight back too much.
Yeah. When see, watching the play, watching it play was a whole different story from those rehearsals. It actually took a really long time to put myself in that position of I'm being sexually abused by someone, because I did martial arts for so long. So all the rehearsals, every time he tried to come at me, I was like, yeah, and he'd be like, oh, wait. And it
Well,
was just it was reflexes I didn't even realize I had. So it took a lot of rehearsals. We had to rehearse that one scene, I think maybe 10 times.
yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. But you got through it, and you did excellent. It was a beautiful, beautiful performance. So I want to thank you for doing that. And I really, the thing is, sometimes people say, well, you're able to do this because your mom did this or that. But you know what? If I didn't use my platform to help my child, then why have the platform? And I wanted you to have this experience because I knew that you would do well in it.
Another thing that I thought was so cool about that play was the fact that you had real sexual assault victims advocates in the audience in case anyone felt overwhelmed by anything happening on the stage.
Right. Because I knew it could be something that was triggering for some people. And there were a couple of people who told me they were triggered by the play. But it was, like I said, a beautiful play. I think it had a beautiful message. But I mean, even beauty has a little bit of an ugly side to it. I mean, a diamond is just a piece of coal until you polish it. So sometimes we have to get through those tough moments to get to the beauty of a moment. And so I want to thank you for helping to bring that out.
And thank you for giving me that opportunity.
You are so welcome. So let's talk a bit about your platform. What is your platform for National American Miss?
Well, it took me a while to find a platform because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But I decided to make it helping to, how to word this, goodness gracious. I wanted to help others come out of their shells as well, like kind of speak up for the underdog, but not speak for them, help them speak for themselves. The
Right.
way I had to learn how to speak up for myself and give myself that kind of confidence, I really wanted to be able to help other people get there as well.
So what did you come up with? So how do you plan to do that?
Well, first things first, I remember being bullied when I was younger. And I know that's something a lot of kids still go through today. And so one thing I really wanted to put out there was visiting schools, talking with kids, helping people try to put themselves in other people's shoes. Because it's hard to see where other people are coming from when you're just looking on the outside. And that's one thing I really like about my teaching job now, because I get to start young. I get to do that with kids around 3 or 4 years old where they're just learning it. So something as little as, he took my toy, and you focus so much on the fact that he took something from someone else rather than trying to get both kids to see where each other is coming from. Because yes, it's wrong that he took it, but why did he take it? Like, what's going on there? And that's just a small example of what I would like to do with older children as well.
Okay, that's great. Now, I know I talk to people a lot about things that you've overcome, and you mentioned bullying, and that's what helped. That was what kind of affected your self-esteem. What are some things that maybe helped bring you out of that you might be able to pass on to other young people?
Well, the first thing that I did for myself was not focus so much on the fact that I was being bullied, but why I was being bullied. Like, what am I putting out there that people are making fun of? What exactly are the words that they're saying? And then eventually I realized, not every word can hurt me. Like saying your name is beautiful, but you don't look very beautiful. That can't hurt me as much as it might have when I was younger, because I just don't believe it anymore. Like, A good example. I'm sorry. I'm at such a loss for words right now. It takes me a while to just formulate what exactly I'm trying to say to where it makes sense, and that's why I
No,
keep pausing.
you're doing absolutely fine. And I don't know if you see the comment on the screen right now, Patrice Potter. She was one of your friends' mother back when we were in Belgium. But she says she loves your platform, helping other people to find their self confidence.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, but the reason why I asked that question is because um, there was a time when you did doubt yourself, and you were able to overcome that, and not only graduate with honors from college, but but you got into a pageant. You wound up putting yourself out there by acting, and my play wasn't the only acting job that you had. You actually even did a online, I think it was a YouTube TV show, and I thought you did really well, and I was worried about that one. But no, you were able to do those things. And one thing that I can say about you is that if you wanted to do something, I think you have more self-esteem and more self-confidence than you may have thought you had, because there were times when you said, I don't think that I'm pretty, or I don't think that I'm smart enough, or this or that or the other. But then you would turn around and audition for a play and get a lead role. Or even if you didn't have the lead role, people saw you. You had such stage presence that everybody knew that you were on stage. You told me one day, I want to audition for American Idol. You came to me and told me you wanted to be in this pageant. So I say all of that to say is that I think you believed in yourself more than you thought you did. And sometimes I think, especially with young people, and I went through the same thing when I was younger as well, is that we may have these talents, but we start to think that maybe we're not good enough, or maybe somebody else is better. And sometimes that may not be the case. It doesn't mean that you don't learn from other people. It doesn't mean that there might be some people who are absolutely great at what they do, but it doesn't take away from the talent that you have inside.
Well, one big thing that I do to try to block out negativity and try to raise up the self-confidence for myself is I choose not to believe any negative thing that's said about me. Like it, and again, it took me a while to get there, but it was like if someone said, I don't think you're pretty, I would say, oh, I choose not to believe you. I think that I am. Or if someone says, I don't think that you're good enough for this role, I'm like, well, I choose not to believe you. And I would only listen to positive things being told to myself, because the more positivity that you retain, then the more positivity you're able to put out, and the more positive things that you're able to keep in as well. If you keep blocking out the negativity, then you can't sit with the negativity.
Okay, I like that. And that's something I'm sure that you had to learn through the years, but I'm glad you did. That's very positive. So.
Yeah. Like I said, it takes a while to get there, because people's words do hurt. Things can get to you. Not succeeding, it's disappointing. But I do believe that majority of the things that we encounter in life is a choice. And so you can choose to just not believe them. You can choose to only listen to the positives. You can choose to just pretend that you didn't hear it.
Now, what do you say to someone who will say, well, that's easy to say, but it's not always easy to do? If people are always saying negative things to me, how can I just keep saying, okay, I choose not to believe you? Eventually, I'm just going to start to believe what they're saying.
I agree. It's hard to do that every single time. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm just perfect and I just don't let anything get to me, because that just wouldn't be true. It would be something that you would have to practice, something that you would have to learn. Like every skill that we have is something we had to practice, something we had to do over and over again. We didn't immediately learn how to do our hair. We didn't immediately learn how to get dressed. We had to practice.
That's absolutely.
And so that's something that I would say to someone if they say it's just easier said than done.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing that. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do with this platform. Have you decided how you want to pass on these lessons to other people? I mean, and when I ask that question, do you want to do a podcast? Do you want to use your social media platform to do it? Do you want to do it within your teaching? Have you decided how you want to do it yet?
I was really hoping to do it within my teaching. My bachelor's degree was in theater arts, and so I've been trying to work it into some of my theater lesson plans. I'm really hoping that at whatever high school I teach at, I get to also teach the drama department. It was one of the things that my drama always had to see the other. Even if you were the villain in the story, you still have to see the villain's point of view. And we would have to do sensitivity trainings. We would have to look our partner in the eye for every weird scene that we had. Like he spent a good few months trying to break every single one of us out of our shell. And
Mhm.
so those same things is what I would hope to do with my own group of students. And I don't think I'll be able to do it too much in an English class because there's only so much you can. But in a theater class, since it's a more intimate setting, then I know for sure I'll be able to implement all of that in there.
Well, I would say when you were in high school back in Belgium, theater was your favorite class, and I think
It
that's
was.
because you were able to do a lot of the things that you're mentioning now.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I try to do it with the younger kids that I teach now. Of course, they're younger, so sensitivity training, that's just not going to be a thing with a 3-year-old.
This is true.
But that's something that I do try to practice in teaching now. Like great example, um child, he pushed another child, and so the other child, he wasn't happy about it. And so rather than immediately getting mad at the child who pushed the other, I asked them, well, why did you push him? What did he do for you to have that reaction? And then what can we do to have a different reaction instead?
And how did that work out?
It actually works. I know it may sound crazy. But he was actually able to fully explain, okay, I pushed him because he said something I didn't like. And I said, okay, thank you for telling me. But next time he says something he doesn't that you don't like, why don't we try pretending he didn't say that? Why don't we try ignoring him? Or why don't we try asking him to be nicer? And
And
all of those, I could tell he was really listening to everything I said. And the next time he interacted with that child, and the other child said something he didn't like, he told him, I don't like what you said.
I love it. Well, we have a question from Mark Bolzajor. He asked, how different was schooling in Belgium than in the States?
Actually, the school I went to, Shape American High School, was a little further advanced than St. Mary's Academy. And I say that because when I did move back to the States, I found that they were just getting into material that I had already learned. Um, I had already learned certain vocabulary. I had already read some of the class material that we were doing. I already knew Algebra 2. And I didn't realize how far advanced I was because I really wasn't doing that well. But I think because I was able to repeat those subjects since I wound up going behind a little bit, I was able to do a little better my second go around.
So, did that was that something that may have added to your confidence? Like, wow, I actually remember this stuff.
Definitely so. Definitely so. Because when I tell you I was not doing good in high school, I don't know how I graduated with honors. But yeah, that is something that added to my confidence because I found that I was actually good at things. And I think that's something that would help a lot of people too, finding what you're good at.
Right. And for you, you knew that acting was something that you wanted to do, singing was something that you wanted to do. And so that's what you kind of focused on. And I still believe that you didn't do well in school those first couple of years because you were already, in your mind, you were already getting ready for college. You didn't really care about high school anymore. You were just ready to go to college and just be done with it.
I blame one of my teachers for that. I wound up being in an AVID class, which was we focused mostly on college prep, and so I had already picked out. I had already figured out some organization skills. I was looking up college study tips and all in middle school. I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready. These 4 years, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for them to go by.
But enjoy the journey. Don't just look for the destination. Enjoy the journey. So, I don't know if you saw that. So he thinks that since the curriculum was more advanced, it's going to give you an advantage when you teach here in the United States.
I think so too, especially since I was able to see multiple different teaching styles as well. I think, besides the fact that I was further along, I think because I had different teachers teaching the same material and they taught it a little differently than the first, then that was another reason why I was able to pick up on it better.
And that happens too. Sometimes when you hear something taught in a different way or explained in a different way, it helps you to retain it better.
Exactly. One thing I learned with my master's degree, I'm getting my master's in teaching now. The number one thing that they're teaching us is different ways to teach the same thing. And as annoying as it is in working. So we have to learn how to teach one subject, but we have to hone it for different learning styles. So people who have hearing impediments, we have to do something that's a little more visual or a little more hands-on, and vice versa for all of the other learning styles.
Gotcha. And that makes a lot of sense. Now, I don't know if you see this, the comment on the screen, but Patrice said, "You're teaching now." How cool is that?
I know, it's awesome. I'm just trying to be, a good role model to today's youth.
Okay, so let's jump back into the pageant, because one of the other reasons why you wanted to come on the show is because you need support for this pageant. And so there are a few things you're doing. First of all, there's the I Feel Beautiful t-shirt, which you're wearing right now. You
let's
stand up.
Camera down so you can see better. I feel beautiful.
And that goes right along with your platform, which is one of the reasons why I really love the shirt. Because it's a great way to spread that confidence and to, just to let people know who you are.
And we also have multiple colors. We have crew neck and V-neck. We also have tumblers and keychains.
Look at you sounding excited.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm trying to bring up the link. So, okay, here we go. All right, so I'm going to show this to everybody so everybody can see what it looks like. I'm going to share it in a minute. Here we go. Okay, so these are some of the items that you have in the store right now. You have the I Feel Beautiful t-shirt, and just as Beautiful said, it comes in a variety of colors. And then there's the I Feel Beautiful keychain, the I Feel Beautiful notebook or journal, and the I Feel Beautiful steel tumbler. And then of course there's the compact mirror, which I think is so cute because of course you're going to look in the mirror and feel beautiful. So I love the line. There may be some other items that we're going to add to it pretty soon. But now you do have these items. You have the merchandise, but you also are doing something else. So did you want to talk a bit about that as well? The shea butter?
Yes. So for years, people have been telling me to start making shea butter that's available for others to buy. And finally, I am listening to those requests. The shea butter is a mixture of coconut oil, cocoa butter, and shea butter that I am getting from a wholesaler. It will be hand whipped, hand melted, everything made by me. I will be starting up a website for that pretty soon, so I'll have that available as soon as possible. And I'm hoping to start selling those in July.
Awesome. Now I've got to tell you, I have some of the shea butter right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it goes on so smooth.
Yep.
And so I'm the one who taught this girl how to make shea butter, and the student has become the teacher. I cannot make shea butter like she does. It's like it's really smooth. So now my hands are not greasy, but they are very shiny now.
See,
So
I have a bit of it too right here. As you see, it's already melting. If you can see
yes,
it. There you go.
there you go. You have to put your hand in front of your face. Yeah.
See, already melting.
Yeah. So now with this shea butter, you said that you also are going to have a special component where people can actually kind of build their own shea butter. Is that correct?
Yes, that is one of the things that the website is going to include. So it's going to have that base of the coconut oil, cocoa butter, and shea butter. And from there, you're able to have add ons like olive oil, special house oil blend. You can add aloe vera, or you can add like almond oil, avocado oil, and those options will be listed as well.
And they're all going to be listed as to what they can choose from. And so each, I see your hands. So the reason why I really wanted to bring that up is because Beautiful gets a lot of compliments on her skin, and I mean she has like this really dewy like skin. So like even when she's not wearing makeup, she really like her. People really like her skin. So I really wanted her to just really look into that more because she does a good job with it. And I'm going to show you guys some pictures in a minute so you can kind of see what I mean. Right. I know you can see her on screen, but if you can see some of these other pictures that she has. And I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to look for them and I'll show that. Oh my goodness. Look, Renee said yes to makeup.
Hey, it's one thing to look good with the makeup on, but it's a big flex to look good without it too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So are you thinking about maybe getting into the skincare thing, or is that something that you'll do another time?
Being an esthetician, it's something I've been dancing with, mostly just because I'm doing this pageant and I'm getting my master's degree and I'm teaching. So as soon as one of these things finishes off, then I'll go ahead and go to esthetician school too.
Yeah, you can't do everything at once, right?
Right.
Renee said you are flawless.
Oh, but you would know all about that.
So so now what actually are you doing now? I know we talked about you being a teacher, but what else do you have going on right now?
As I said, I am also doing my master's degree. I'm getting my master's in teaching. Later this week, actually, I'll be taking my first praxis exam, 1 out of 3. And I am hoping to get into the teaching career by August this upcoming school year.
Okay, so you've been busy.
Yes.
So
I have a lifetime goal of teaching at a university, so I'm just trying to work my way up there.
okay, life goals. I will tell you, it's like a full circle moment that you were just saying earlier that you weren't doing well in school and now you are teaching.
I know. It's crazy. I honestly, my early high school teachers would never believe it. They're like, no, not beautiful. Couldn't have. She was feeling.
Well, the great thing about that is that just because you may have had a certain past, that does not always predict your future. And I think sometimes people can stifle their futures when because they're so busy being reminded of their past, or they start to think of their past.
Mm-hmm.
Mark has a question. You are inspiring in your journey and you're doing great. I wish you great success in your pageant. Would you be open to inviting guest authors to speak to your class one day, asking for a friend? I wonder what friend that would be, Mark.
Absolutely. I will be open to that, especially since I will be teaching in English class. So honestly, we can figure out how to get your book on the curriculum too. Your friend's book.
Yeah, his friend's book, not his
Yeah.
book, right? Okay, so I did want to show some of your pictures. So she's not just into natural skincare. She loves to do makeup as well.
Yes, I am a makeup artist. Please hit me up when during Halloween season.
Oh yeah, I should have shown the people you. Oh wait, I do have a picture of Boom.
Mm-hmm. It's my butterfly look. It's a
Yes, the
popular
world
one.
famous butterfly look. So I actually really kind of like the butterfly look. And I know we have a good friend who has a foundation, and the foundation's name involves the name Butterfly. So she wanted this butterfly look for her, so she can do some photos with it.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Collaborations.
Oh, Mark says his friend's name is Black Cyrano.
Okay.
So you are doing makeup. You are promoting natural skincare. You are in grad school. You are working on your praxis exams. You have a pageant coming up in August. Are you
Mm-hmm.
are you ever going to have time to get back into acting?
At this point in time, I'm not sure, but if I do get back into it, I'm hoping I can ease my way back into it with being a makeup artist, just to keep the balance up.
Hey,
I wish I will some of the more Halloween looks that I've done. I did one. I made it look like a giant scar was going was going down my arm, and a lot of people told me it looked really realistic.
oh yeah, I remember you did a video where you had people thinking that a dog bit you.
Yeah, yeah. I did one where it looked like the skin had come off of my fingers. And then I walked up and down the street with it on my hand and telling people that a dog bit me just to see who would react. Unfortunately, TikTok took my video down. They said it was offensive.
Yeah, they did. I'm because I really wanted to show people that video. You had gotten a lot of views on that.
I did. Like someone was trying to make it go viral, and I was waiting for it too. TikTok said my video was offensive, so they banned my video. I'm gonna have to do something a little more user friendly.
Okay, so you did do this look.
Yep, my old lady look. That was for last Halloween.
And the thing is, you do look like you have wrinkles.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be mad at you when you do some of these looks.
My next one, I'm hoping to do like a flaky face look.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, kind of make it look like my face is. I think I could really do a really good another old lady look like that too. I already have it all planned out. Yep, yep, that's my Coraline look. I'm gonna revamp that one too.
Yeah, that's kind of a scary look. So, oh, I did find the scar video or the scar photo that you did. This looks real.
Yep, a couple people were pretty freaked out about that one. I remember an old friend had asked for a couple of pictures of me, and I accidentally sent her that one, and she was like, "Do you need me to call the police?" And I was like, "Wait, I'm sorry, it's makeup. It's makeup. I promise."
So yeah, I think you really need to put yourself out there for Halloween.
Yeah, I'm hoping to maybe reach out to a theme park or two because if I can do their employees' makeup for the Halloween season, then that's great advertising.
Okay. Now,
So they weren't ready for that scar photo.
you remember this one?
Yeah, I do. I'm gonna be revamping that one too. Next time, I'm gonna cut up a Halloween mask that's like of a similar skin tone, and I'm gonna glue it on those black pieces so that way it looks like 3D.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know if you saw this, but Renee says she wants to be a model.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
All right, so I'm gonna put the just in case there are some people who want to support you. I want to make sure that we put the link in the chat because I'm quite sure that there are some people who would want to support you on your quest to being National American Miss. Now, what do you actually need help with? What do you need support for?
Well, I do still have to get my dress and pay the rest of my pageant fees. We have a goal of $2,500, and that will pay for traveling expenses, the dress, hair, and all other, little necessities that I would need, shoes and what kind of undergarments I would need.
Hey, that's huge. I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, because the right
Mhm.
undergarments can make or break a dress.
Really, they really can. They really can. And they showed us some example photos during the sessions, and they said, the difference between like wearing it with confidence versus not wearing it with confidence. Really, like if you have to like how you look because the judges will be able to tell.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So, so you're planning on getting your dress. You're probably closer to pageant time, correct?
Yeah, like towards the end of July, and that's why I'm trying shea butters.
Right. And I will commend you. The first time you went through this process, we were asking for donations. You were probably trying to hit every organization you can. And this time around, 6 years later, when you're doing this again, instead of asking for donations, you're just asking people. You've started a business basically. The I Feel Beautiful campaign, because even the shea butters fall in that same realm of feeling beautiful.
Exactly, exactly. Because then you can start feeling beautiful on the outside without the makeup, which leads right into the self confidence.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Miss Skincare Lady, I know you're not an esthetician, but sometimes that makes you even more real to some people. What are some tips for that clear, pretty skin?
Well, for dark spots, I like to use citrus fruits, one that have like heavy acid, like lemon or oranges. Like you can get lemon powder from any local markets,
Usually
and if you
Indian markets have the best, right?
I'm sorry.
The Indian markets usually have the best.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes, and the African markets, they typically
Hmm.
have like just that one ingredient, which is perfect because then there's nothing added to it. I always say the best things that you can put on your skin or just in on your hair is things that have minimal ingredients. So I would recommend Indian healing clay mixed with a little bit of lemon powder. And if your skin can take it, apple cider vinegar. If not, just do water. And that itself can help, brighten any dark marks on your skin. It can help get rid of any acne or any zits.
Zits. What's the
Also
use it
drinking lots of water.
for? Yes, drinking water is good. I say all the time, you know, I will be 50 in 3 days, but I still look young.
I can't tell.
Okay, so Renee has a question. What can I
Okay.
get from you for my son's acne problem?
I will recommend the shea butter for sure. And just like a small fingerful, because it spreads a lot, and you can put that on your face. Also, wearing sunscreen before you go out can make a big difference too. Wearing sunscreen on your face before you go out.
Right,
A lot of
right.
people don't think to put sunscreen on their face because they think there's too much oil in it. But you're actually supposed to, especially if you're a woman and you're going out with makeup on, having sunscreen under your makeup or even using a foundation that has sunscreen in it can make a big difference for your face.
Now, what do you say to people who say Black people don't need sunscreen because we have melanin?
I will show them what I look like on the playground.
Yeah, and I will be a witness to that. Do not fall for the belief that Black people don't get sunburned, because Black people absolutely do get sunburned. I have very, very sensitive skin.
Hmm.
And one year I went to Las Vegas, which is very, very hot. And then right after Las Vegas, I went to a festival. By the time I finished that festival, my face was trashed. It was
Hmm.
burned. There were dark spots. I could barely smile. The makeup didn't go on clearly. It was terrible. And
Hmm.
I actually used Indian healing clay to get my skin texture back. But I say all of this to say that sunscreen is absolutely needed, even if you have darker skin. Um,
Yes.
it's just going to protect your face, because you can still get sunburned. So don't fall for the hype.
Also, your skin tone does matter with the SPF. For people with darker skin tones, you would definitely need a lower SPF. And for people with paler skin tones, you would need a higher SPF just so you can make sure your skin stays the same when you go out. A lot of people think like the darker you are, the more you don't need sunscreen. And it's really not true.
Right. Now, do you use face scrubs at all?
No, no. I went to see a dermatologist one time as a joke, and then she told me everything wrong with my face, and I was like, "Wow!" And she was like, "Yeah, you use scrubs, don't you?" And I was like, "Oh, I do. How can you tell?" And she said it's because she said it was because the scrubs actually put tiny tears all over my face, which makes it more prone for acne when I
Wow.
go back out, and all of the stuff from the outside get stuck in those tiny cuts in my face from the
Yeah.
scrubs.
I've never thought about that.
Me neither.
My
I
goodness.
man, you would have thought that walked in there looking beat up the way she was talking to me.
Oh my goodness. You thought your skin was looking good that day, huh?
I did. I did. I did. She was like, yeah, and I see that you're putting the shea butter on top of it, but if you're putting shea butter on top of tiny cuts that are clogged with dirt, then it's not going to help. And I was like, wow, yeah, that does make sense when you explain it like that.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, and I might have to rethink my coffee scrub that I like so much.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
and she said think of your skin as glass. And you wouldn't scrub glass. You would wipe it gently so you don't scratch it. And it's the same with your face.
right, right. Wow. So that's interesting. Well, we only have a few minutes left, but one thing that we did not talk about, you have another talent. There's something else that you do. A lot of people don't realize that you are a published author.
It's true. It's true. Sometimes when I tell people, they're like, "What? No way. No way you couldn't have. You're not 80 years old." And I'm like, "You don't have to be 80 to be me."
Okay.
Please can we cut that out?
Yeah, we're alive. We can't cut that out. Okay, so tell us about your book, baby.
Um, oh, they said that we're destroying the stereotypes tonight. You getting skincare 101.
Exactly. All right, so
A
tell us about
book. It was actually a story that you and I wrote together that I just later revamped for a more sophisticated novel.
yes, what's the name of the story?
So it's called Presents to Those Who Pray. And it's all about this little girl whose name is Beautiful. Wonder where that came from. And how she grows into her self-confidence and how everyone could see how beautiful she was except for her. And one person became so jealous of how beautiful she was and didn't want her to succeed that he hid her away from the rest of the world. And she wound up growing up never realizing how beautiful she was until someone found her, got her cleaned up, and helped her become into the beautiful queen that she is today.
Oh, you made the story sound so beautiful.
Yeah. And it's presents to those who pray because her mother in the story, when her child was hid away from the rest of the world, she prayed to all of the angels for her daughter to be found and for her daughter to be found and for her to be able to grow into the beautiful woman that she knew that she was. And her prayers were answered. So it was a present because she prayed.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. So where can people find this story?
You can find the story on Amazon or on my Instagram. I
Where
do
is the
have,
story?
I'm sorry,
Where is the story?
the story is on Amazon.
No, where
I,
in the book? What book?
I'm sorry. It it is a short story that's part of an anthology, A New Renaissance.
Do you have the book with you? Because I forgot to pick the book up before we started this.
That I do not.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show everybody the book on Amazon because I can do that.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, but the book is called A New Renaissance. It's a collection of original African American fiction, and Beautiful Story is one of the stories in the book. So I am going to pull it up so you can see it. Give me a second. There it is. There we go. A New Renaissance. So it's on Amazon. Um, Beautiful was one of 12 different authors who were a part of this anthology. And she was one of 3 children's stories. So as you can see, it's only $8.99 on Kindle. So I think you guys should go ahead and get your copy because it was a beautiful, beautiful collection of stories. And so I am going to put the link. It's a long link, y'all. Sorry. But I'm going to put the link in the chat. So for those of you who would like to get a copy of the book, you can go ahead and do that. I also put a link to Beautiful's page, so you can support her collection. I Feel Beautiful collection. Can you show them the T-shirt one more time?
Yes. Here we go. I Feel Beautiful.
Yes, and it comes in a variety of colors. This is the red, of course, but we also have purple and black, and I believe there are a couple other colors. But it's a really beautiful, beautiful message. I hope that you guys will support either the merch, support the shea butter. She will be. When do you think you'll be announcing the shea butter?
The goal is July 2nd because July 1st I'll be taking my praxis exam.
Yes, nothing is going to be getting in the way of the praxis exam. Renee says she wears her shirt all the time.
Oh, look at my auntie representing.
So, but thank you all for joining us. Beautiful. Thank you for finally coming on my show. I really enjoyed talking with you. And I even learned a few things. I'm really proud of the woman that you have become. And for you to have been able to overcome so much in your life, you know, being a daughter of a military person such as myself. Well, she's at CrossFit. She wears her shirt at CrossFit. But being the daughter of a soldier who was always traveling, and then you were still holding it down. You know, you were helpful to me. You've been an example to a lot of people your age and younger, and you're doing your thing, and I'm really, really proud of you. So I'm really glad that we had a chance to do this today.
And thank you so much for having me. It was an honor being able to go on your show. I didn't think I would have so much fun.
Of course, I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, you be knowing. You be
I
knowing.
know. I try to tell you. Mama knows. Mama knows. But now, are there any final words that you would like to leave the people? Do you want to talk about the pageant? Any words of encouragement that you would like to give?
Yes. My final thoughts are, like I said before, if someone ever tries to tear you down, tries to say anything to belittle you, the best thing that you can do for yourself, for your own mental health, for your own self-confidence, don't believe them. Ignore them, block it out. Only accept the positive things that are coming towards you, so that way you can be able to put that back out.
Beautiful. And we're just going to end it at that. Thank you so much once again, beautiful. This has been a great interview. I don't always interview people for an entire hour, but you held it down. So thank you so much. You have a wonderful night. And all of you, thank you so much for being a part of the show tonight. Thank you for all of the great questions and comments. I really appreciate it. Oh, we had a couple more comments we're going to try to squeeze in here. You're the epitome of perseverance, beauty, intelligence, and inspiration.
Oh,
Congratulations on the pageant.
Thank you.
And congratulations, beautiful. I am so proud of you and your mom. Keep doing you. Thank you, Sadia.
Thank
She's
you.
nothing like this for us. All right. Thank you so much, guys. We will be back next week. We'll have 2 more authors. I'm looking forward to next week as well, and I want to see you guys there. Please share the show. Tell people about it. Let's help this show to grow. This is a free service that I give to authors because I want them to have a platform to promote their books. We're going to be doing some big things with the show. We're going to be moving it to Amazon Live pretty soon. We're starting the podcast pretty soon. And we just want to keep this show growing so I can continue to connect with wonderful authors out there who need that publicity for their books, who need that exposure. That's what this is all about. So keep sharing this. Let's help this show to grow. Let's help it to get bigger than we ever dreamed. Because they say when you have a dream and you know exactly how to make that dream come true, you're not dreaming big enough. And Tasha, I need you on the show. All you got to do is say the word. I'm about to send you the link as soon as we hang up. All right. So don't forget, guys, if you can see exactly how to make your dream come true, you are not dreaming big enough. So I want to see this show have thousands of followers. I want to be able to help authors. I don't know how I'm going to make it happen, but I do know it starts with you. So I need your support. Thank you all for supporting us tonight. Thank you for being a part of this show. God bless you. And I'm going to see you next week.